gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. If you're a sports fan and wanna bet, this is the right place. Just write your picks on the internet, and I'll put them all together in one parlay. Put it in the books, yeah.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Gambling Goosecast, where dreams go to die. Brought to you by Vizio TVs, because quality matters. Last week's winners weren't what I predicted. Obviously, never are. Let's recap. Bet 1 is from Reddit user Killer Calamari. He had Drake -3 at Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Drake won this game easily, beating Wisconsin-Milwaukee 75-61, blowing the spread out of the water and winning the bet. Killer Calamari is now 1-0. Bet 2, my bet, was Eric Anders +100 against Elias Theodora. Elias fought a smart fight, but boring fight, point fighting his way to victory. Anders showed some promise in the second round, almost knocking him out, but it wasn't enough. Making this bet a big fat loss. My record is now 6-9-1. Oh boy. Bet 3 was Bill Aaron's pick. He had the Giants -5 against the Redskins. The game wasn't even close. Giants won 40-16. Eli looked like the Eli of old, tossing up 3 TDs. Way to go, Eli. I don't hate you as much anymore. This bet was a winner, and Bill Aaron's record is now 3-2. Bet 4 was Rodney. He had Rams -3 against the Bears. Well, apparently the Bears' defense is legit. They made the Rams look terrible. Jared Goff threw 4 interceptions, and Todd Gurley only had 28 yards rushing, which I like because he's cursed and he sucks. But anyways, the final score is 15-16, making this bet a loser. Rodney's record is now 4-5-1. Then bet 5, Gus Sr.'s lock of the week. He had the Texans -5 against the Colts. Texans didn't look like themselves and lost 24-21, which hopefully makes Gus Sr. pick someone else this week. We will see. That recaps last week. We are now 33-2 for our single bets and down $4.10. Our parlay record is 2-45, and we are down $699.29. We are terrible. Well, I'm terrible, I should say. On to next week's bets. The first bet we got from Twitter user Reed Earl. He picked the Eagles +11.5 against the Rams. He said because the way the Bears made the Rams look last week, this should be an easy pick. So put in the books, Eagles +11.5. Our next bet is from Chuck. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, Gambling Goose. It's me, Chuck from Minnesota, calling in. I didn't call him last week because, you kind of were putting me down and kind of made me feel bad about myself because I let you down. But, hey, it's just the way it goes once in a while. Anyhow, this week, I'm going to take Seattle over to San Francisco by 4. Seattle's pretty hot right now, and the 49ers, well, yeah, they're not very good. So I'm going to take Seattle over the 49ers. Put it in the books. Have a good morning. See ya.
Only jokes, Chuck. Don't take everything I say so seriously, right? You sound like you're on suicide watch right now. Or drunk. You were talking very slow in that voicemail. But I like your pick. Put in the books. Seahawks -4. Our next bet comes from Bill Aarons. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, Gambling Goose, this is Bill calling in again. See, the last 2 weeks I picked NFL games and I got them right, so I'm going to stick with the NFL this week. I'm looking at the Dallas and Indianapolis game. Dallas last 6 games have been pretty hot. I think they're 5-1 since they got Cooper, and I think they're going to continue that streak this week against Andrew Luck and his neckbeard. I'm going to go with Dallas +3 against Indy. Put it in the books. Thanks.
There you have it. Andrew Luck's neckbeard is disgusting. So I agree with your pick. Cowboys +3. Put it in the books. Our next bet is from it's from Bob from Minnesota. He hasn't called back he didn't call last week. He started out hot. Has had a little bit of a losing streak. Let's hear what his pick is this week.
Hey there, Gambling Goose. This is Bob from Minnesota calling in. Yeah, I started off hot. Lost 3 in a row now. I didn't call in last week. Not because I was a pussy. I totally forgot. This week I ain't got too many stats for you. All I know is that the Vikings are horse shit, and Miami's Vikings are a 7-point favorite. I got no fucking idea where they come up with that line. Makes no sense to me. I think Miami's going to win outright. And even if they don't, the Vikings, they'll fuck it up. They'll miss a field goal, stupid penalty here or there. And then Mike Zimmer, he'll probably fucking fire the special teams coaches next week because for some reason that guy doesn't want to own up for his own shortcomings. It's like, hey, team's horseshit. Let's fire that offensive coordinator. He's a defensive coach. We got all this money tied up in our defense, and they played solid against Seattle. But our offensive line is fucking Swiss cheese. It's a patchwork deal. Let's pick up these guys up to scrap heap here, scrap heap there, and yeah, he wants to run the ball, so he fires that DiFilippo. Well, you can't run the fucking ball if you got no one that can block for you. It's irritating. Pisses me off. So, I wish I had more to add, but that's all I got. Go Miami and fuck the Vikings. Have a good week. Bye.
Bob is heated right now. Rightfully so. Vikings. They're in the news lately. Zimmer's daughter posted on Instagram about how her dad works harder than any of the Viking fans. I mean, I would too if I made $4 million a year. Whew. Anyways, put it in the books. Dolphins +7.5. Next bet is from Rodney.
Hey, Goosecast listeners, this is Rodney. This week we're going to go with New England and Pitt. Take New England. It's looking like the line's -2 for New England right now. It's tough to bet against Tom Brady in December. I think his career record's like 59-11. It's just something insane. The guy is just absolute money come December. That and Pittsburgh, they've looked a little rough. I mean, that Oakland loss is pretty brutal. I don't know how they lose to Oakland and then losing to Denver a couple weeks ago. Ben's got some banged up ribs, but the guy plays through everything. Connor's still questionable, and even then, playing on that ankle injury, I don't know if he'll be worth anything even if he does play. I just think New England, December, they're healthy. I think this is probably the first time ever with Belichick that no one's on an injury report. pretty crazy to see that with that team. But yeah, Brady, December, you can't beat it. Take them. New England -2. Put it in the books.
You're correct. I will not bet against Tom Brady anymore. The line changed to -3, so we're going to take Patriots -3, put in the books. Next bet is my bet. I'm not doing MMA this week. Change it up. I'm going to do some NFL. I'm going to steal Gus Sr.'s pick that he's been picking every week. I'm taking the Texans -7 against the Jets, or at the Jets. Jets are terrible. And I think last week's loss was a fluke for the Texans. So put in the books, Texans -7. And let's hear what Gus Sr. has to say for the last bit of the week.
Yeah, this is Gus Sr. calling in. I didn't think I was going to be able to call on. My phone was dead. Dies every single freaking day now. My pick this week's going to be the Grambling lacrosse team -2 over Colgate. And it's going to be a tough battle. Anyway, obviously that was not real. So the Texans finally failed me. I was riding that bandwagon for quite a while. Still think that there are some more bets there with the Texans, but I'm going away from them this week. I'm going to take the over on the Chicago Green Bay game. I can't get into Bodog. Nothing's working for me today. I think it's 45. Anyway, I know the Bears have like the number 1 D. I think Green Bay can scrounge up 17 points. Chicago's going to score 34 for a 34-17 final, so it should go over. Or Chicago might just beat them 50-0. Well, still be over. They say, okay, they won last week over Atlanta. Big deal. And they still have no pass rush. Rodgers had to stand in the pocket and wait for hours for guys to get open. Let's face it, they're terrible. Anyway, that's my pick. So, everybody have a great week. Let's see what Gus Sr. or Camel Goose's pick is going to be. Is it going to be, let's see, what would he bet on this week? Soccer, maybe? I don't know, something like that. Something that we all really give a shit about. So, anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Gus, you better watch your mouth. This week I bet on the NFL just because there wasn't good MMA picks. And you're picking the over on the Bears-Packers game. This is a bold pick. I hope you know I hope you know what you're talking about, because it might come down to you on this parlay. So we'll see what happens. That's the bets for this week. The parlay is Eagles +11.5, Seahawks -4, Cowboys +3, Dolphins +7.5, Patriots -3, Texans -7, and Packers and Bears over 45. And we bet 25 to win $2,454.25. Put it in the books. You can download this podcast on Google Podcasts, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, and now iHeartRadio and YouTube. If you want to call in, call the Gambling Goose hotline. I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, but if you really want to call in, you can figure it out. It's on my Instagram. It's on the previous podcasts. So yeah, all these bets are on Sunday. Sorry about that. Usually I like to make bets on Friday and Saturday, to make the weekend interesting. But the Gambling Goose will be gambling at the casino on Saturday, so I can't pay attention to, NCAA picks. I'll be too busy winning the Progressive and Pygow. So yeah, that's it for this week. Put it in the books and have a good weekend.
I'm sad alone in a boggy marsh, totally motionless except for her heart. Mud flowed up into Lump's pajamas. She told Stand!